The alarm clock blared, another day began. The sound was relentless, echoing the monotony of her daily grind. Sarah felt a familiar weight in her chest. It was a heaviness that had become all too common, a constant companion in her life. It was exhaustion, but heavier. This was burnout. The kind that seeps into your bones and makes every movement feel like a Herculean effort. She dragged herself through the motions. Work consumed her. Deadlines loomed, each one more pressing than the last. The pressure was unrelenting, a constant reminder of her never-ending responsibilities. Life felt like a to-do list, never-ending. Each task she completed was quickly replaced by another, an endless cycle of demands and expectations. One evening, Sarah collapsed on the couch. Her body felt like it was made of lead, every muscle aching from the strain of constant overwork. Tears streamed down her face. They were tears of frustration, of exhaustion, of feeling utterly overwhelmed. She felt empty, lost. The spark that once drove her had dimmed, leaving behind a hollow shell of who she used to be. "There has to be more to life than this," she whispered. The words were barely audible, but they carried the weight of her desperation. A quiet strength rose within her. It was a flicker of hope, a small but powerful reminder that she had the power to change her circumstances. She knew something had to change. The realization was both terrifying and liberating. She couldn't continue down this path of self-destruction. That night, Sarah made a decision. She would choose herself. For the first time in a long time, she put her own needs and well-being at the forefront. For the first time, her well-being came first. She began to practice self-care, taking time to nurture her mind, body, and soul. This was the start of her journey within, a journey to rediscover herself, to find balance, and to reclaim the joy that had been lost in the hustle. The next morning, Sarah woke with a new resolve. The sunlight streaming through her window felt like a beacon of hope, illuminating the path she was about to embark on. She would no longer ignore the whispers of her soul, those quiet, persistent voices that had been urging her to make a change, to seek a better life, could no longer be silenced. Her journey wouldn't be easy, she knew. The path ahead was fraught with challenges and uncertainties, but Sarah was ready to face them head-on. But she was determined to find herself again. She looked in the mirror, seeing not just her reflection, but the strength and potential that lay within her. The first step was admitting she needed help. It was a humbling realization, but also a powerful one. She picked up the phone, her hands trembling slightly, and made the call. She reached out to a therapist. This was a significant move, a step towards healing and understanding herself better. This act, though small, felt monumental. It was the first time in a long while that she felt a glimmer of hope. It was an acknowledgement of her pain. She allowed herself to feel, to process the emotions she had long buried. It was a declaration that she was worthy of care. She embraced herself both literally and figuratively, understanding that self-love was crucial. Hope, like a fragile seedling, began to sprout in her heart. This tiny seed of change was delicate, but with care it could grow into something beautiful. She was finally taking ownership of her life. Each step she took, each word she wrote in her journal was a testament to her newfound strength and determination. The journey within had truly begun. Sarah knew it would be a long road, but she was ready. With each breath, each moment of peace, she felt more connected to herself and the world around her. Therapy was challenging. Sarah confronted deeply buried pain. She spoke of her anxiety, her fear of failure, her need for external validation. It was terrifying yet liberating. She began to understand the root of her burnout. It stemmed from a deep need to prove herself, to be perfect, to please everyone but herself. This realization was painful, but also empowering. For the first time, Sarah saw herself clearly. She saw her strengths, her vulnerabilities, her authentic self. Sarah knew that healing was not just about therapy. She needed to make changes in her daily life. She began incorporating small, manageable practices, morning walks in nature, reading inspiring books, listening to calming music. These simple acts were acts of self-care. They were reminders to slow down, to breathe, to be present in the moment. Slowly, Sarah began to feel a shift within herself, a sense of peace she hadn't realized she was missing. Section 5: The Healing Power of Vulnerability, Embracing Therapy. Therapy became a safe haven, a space for Sarah to unravel her thoughts and emotions without judgment. Her therapist helped her develop coping mechanisms. She learned to identify her triggers and manage her anxiety. The shame she had carried for so long began to dissipate. She realized that asking for help was not a weakness, but a sign of strength. It was a courageous act of self-love. Through vulnerability, Sarah began to heal. Section 6: Finding Stillness, the Transformative Practice of Meditation. Seeking deeper peace, Sarah explored meditation. At first her mind raced, thoughts bombarded her like popcorn popping, but she persisted. She learned to observe her thoughts without judgment, to let them come and go like passing clouds. Gradually, Sarah found moments of stillness. Her mind quieted. She became aware of her breath, the rhythm of her heart. In this stillness, she connected with a deep sense of inner peace. Meditation became her anchor, grounding her in the present moment. Section 7: Journaling, a Conversation with the Soul. Sarah discovered the power of journaling. Each night she put pen to paper, pouring her thoughts and feelings onto the page. It was a way to process her experiences, to untangle the knots in her mind. Through writing, she began to understand herself better. She noticed patterns in her behavior, recurring thoughts, and hidden desires. Journaling became a form of self-discovery, a conversation with her soul. It was a space to be honest, vulnerable, and authentically herself. The power of connection, finding solace in community. Isolation had been her comfort zone, but Sarah realized that connection was vital for healing. She started attending group yoga classes. She joined a book club. She reconnected with old friends. Slowly, she allowed herself to be vulnerable with others. Sharing her story, Sarah realized she wasn't alone. Others had walked similar paths. She found solace in their support, encouragement, and understanding. Community became a source of strength and inspiration on her journey. Embracing authenticity, living in alignment with true self. As Sarah healed, she began to question everything. Her career no longer resonated with her soul. Her relationships felt superficial. She craved authenticity in all areas of her life. So, she made changes. She quit her corporate job and pursued her passion for writing. She set boundaries in her relationships, choosing to surround herself with people who uplifted and inspired her. Living authentically was no longer an option, it was a necessity. A continuous journey, cultivating self-compassion and growth. Sarah's journey wasn't linear. There were days when she stumbled, when self-doubt crept in, when she questioned her choices. But she had learned the importance of self-compassion. She no longer judged herself harshly for her mistakes. Instead, she treated herself with kindness and understanding. She embraced her imperfections as part of her unique journey. She understood that growth was a continuous process, not a destination. With each challenge, she learned and evolved, becoming a stronger, more resilient version of herself. Finding peace, a life filled with purpose and meaning. In the quiet moments of reflection, Sarah often found herself contemplating the journey that had brought her to this point. The serene landscape around her mirrored the tranquility she had cultivated within. Years later, Sarah was a different person. The transformation was not just in her demeanor, but in the very essence of her being. She had grown into someone who radiated confidence and purpose. Each day was a new opportunity to embrace life fully, to engage in activities that brought her joy and fulfillment. The burnout was gone, replaced by a deep sense of peace and fulfillment. Meditation and mindfulness had become her daily rituals, grounding her in the present moment. She found solace in the simple pleasures of life, whether it was a quiet moment in nature or a peaceful meditation session. She had found her purpose in writing, inspiring others with her story. Her words became a beacon of hope for many, a testament to the power of resilience and self-discovery. Through her writing, she connected with people from all walks of life, sharing her journey and encouraging others to find their own paths. She had cultivated meaningful relationships and created a life that honored her values. Her connections with friends and family deepened, filled with genuine love and understanding. These relationships became the cornerstone of her happiness, providing support and joy in every moment. The journey within had led her home, to herself. In the quiet moments of contemplation, she found a deep sense of contentment. Her home became a sanctuary, a place where she could relax and be herself, free from the pressures of the outside world. It was a journey of self-discovery, healing, and transformation. Each step she took was a testament to her strength and resilience. She embraced practices like yoga and meditation, which helped her stay connected to her inner self. Looking back at old photographs, she smiled, knowing how far she had come. It was a reminder that even in the darkest of times, a spark of hope can ignite a revolution. Lighting a candle became a symbolic act, a reminder of the light within her. Gazing out the window, she felt a sense of hope and possibility, knowing that she had the power to create the life she desired, and that by choosing ourselves, we choose the possibility of a life filled with purpose, peace, and authentic joy. Embracing herself with a joyful smile, she danced freely, celebrating the journey she had undertaken. Each moment of laughter and joy was a testament to the life she had created, a life filled with meaning and purpose.